This is why Siege Vina Victoria, also known as Siege X, is now Siege. No, this will still be a propaganda video. You don't have to worry. Siege X is now a guard, specifically an arts fighter, amongst with these guys and the Grim Reaper. Arts fighters are pretty old now, but I will explain anyways. Arts fighter is a guard branch primarily focusing on dealing arts damage. Well, all they do is arts damage, hence the term arts fighter, but they will have less stats compared to the usual guard. They are mostly used to deal more damage, mainly arts and dueling enemies. But I will say that one advantage they have compared to others is that they have more art resist. Yeah, fun fact, the arts fighter branch is the only guard branch that doesn't have any boys. Your Majesty's talents consist of reducing physical damage received by self and allies within the 8 tiles around her by 20%, and Your Majesty's attack is increased by 5% for each ally buff. Now, what does it mean by this? It means absolutely nothing, even though the free 20% physical damage resist and the 5% attack. Well, okay, first of all, 20% physical damage resist doesn't sound as bad as it is. Typically, buffs against physical damage are usually just increase the operator's defense by X percentage, but a straight up 20% physical damage reduction is quite good. The only issue is that you'll have to place the character next to her, and if you somehow haven't realized, there are more than 10 placeable tiles on the map. But looking from a more positive viewpoint, this talent can be a pretty good anchor or core-like setups, where physical damage snipers like to snipe you and you need that damage reduction, assuming you don't have healing for some reason, or there's AoE snipers and you're in need of damage reduction, assuming you don't have healing for some reason. The effect isn't bad, it's just the concept of placing things next to her is what makes it difficult. What happens if... right? And secondly, 5% attack increase isn't that much anyways. The better thing is that it at least stacks per ally buff. So technically its full potential brings it up to 40% attack, assuming you're going to surround her with teammates. One unique thing about this talent is that pretty much anything that is friendly placed in her ranged counts. For instance, Jessica thing, Stainless thing, Trap thing. Other than that, it's a fine talent that works well with one of her skills. Vina Talent 2 basically just frightens the enemy for 5 seconds on her first hit. Nothing too special, it's just a bit of utility. It does feel a little underwhelming. It kinda felt like the people making her kit just kinda slapped this thing on her because they didn't know what else to add. Overall, I think her talents are pretty underwhelming. And yes, I am being honest for once. I think her talents aren't as good as it should be. I do think good talent make good characters. Examples like Serta. I don't think she would be as good as she is now without her invulnerability. Either way, her talents are 2.5 out of 10. Queen Elizabeth Skill 1, Reforged Radiance. Remember this? It has never left. Her next attack will deal an additional 180% attack as true damage to all grounded units nearby. And yes, I do see true damage. Look, I even wrote it in full caps in the script. But do not let this fool you. Even though it does true damage, as an art guard, she does have one less block than her original self. So holding a lane by herself is difficult. More difficult than 5 years ago. But true damage, I guess. If there are really high rest or defense enemies, you can probably set up in a way to do constant true damage or something. Assuming she doesn't have 2 other skills. Queen Lizzie Skill 2, Returning to Homeland, is a much better AFK skill than her first skill. As a passive, if there are 2 or more friendly units within Talent 1's effective range, increase Venus' SP recovery rate by 0.5%. When this skill is automatically activated, she will gain 1 attack range, increases her attack by 180%, and 1 attack target count, lasting forever. Even though this is an AFK skill and it's actually pretty damn good, you're still kind of forced to do the classic defender and back damage support combo. I have to be honest, this is a really good combo. I genuinely think if you don't have a strong instructor for this combo, this skill can take its job pretty well. However, I do not think this will replace characters such as Blaze, since when she is powered up, she hits 3 enemies at once, and yeah, she's physical and Vina's art, you're still going to use this type of skill for wave clearing. And I just don't believe that these normal wave enemies have 9,000 defense and negative sextillion arts resist. Even comparing this skill to skills like Thorn's S3, you can see the lack in almost everything, except doing more arts damage. And with what I said again, that wave enemies probably aren't going to be high on defense. Overall, I think this skill as an AFK skill is good. Probably not the best for a lot of situations and can pretty be replaced by a lot. Vina skill 3 will be her main skill. Upon casting this skill, she will deploy lions called the Golden Vow, but for simplicity's sake, I'll just call them lions. Because, look, she will place lions down within the available 8 ground tiles around her. Vina herself is able to attack enemies blocked by other allies under the first talent effect, gaining 190% attack. She will gain a +3 attack target, attack interval reduced, and true damage. And holy moly, just look at that, the things that she has with her skill 3! Even though this is the case of her having able to deploy more allies for blocking and damage, be able to attack those enemies who are being blocked by the lions, an insane amount of damage and targets, and attack speed boost, but most importantly, true damage, being able to bypass art resist, defense, and dodge. This is very valuable when it comes to boss's DPS. Even after all these great things, I am so sorry to say that she will not be a true damage dealer in a lot of endgame activities. First of all, let's look at the line stats. Here are the line stats. Here are the Wizardel baby stats. No, I have not mislabeled them. The only advantage the lines have against Wizardel turrets are HP, block, and the ability to do true damage. Whilst this does sound extremely broken, having it able to do true damage, it still doesn't matter if the numbers are low. Another annoying thing about the lines is that their range is really not great. Having a medic defender range really staggers the rest of the lines since they're kind of just there, doing literally nothing. Unless the boss willingly decides to walk into every lion, they'll most likely just kill one lion and walk straight into siege. Now, let's look at the additional effects. Very good, that's it. What else can you say really? Having such a massive attack stat boost and attacking speed and attacking target count and dealing true damage, it's just good. Not to mention, it doesn't specify that she only attacks enemies blocked by the lion, just any ally that is in her talent 1's range. Meaning if one lion dies, you can just... Now, in a lot of scenarios and game modes, this skill is... it's okay. It's not completely useless, but it definitely won't be your first choice. And why is that? First of all, her initial SP cooldown. It takes about 15 seconds for her skill to charge from when she is deployed. This is normally not an issue for a lot of other big damage units because they have the range to compensate. Range plays a big factor here because they are able to damage them before they get close, eliminating the risk of them being slashed, which also contributes for them to being able to dish out the total damage of her skill. Not only this, they also have the AoE potential. Now, I am a huge AoE glazer. No hate to Ray. AoE is important since you don't have to try and tweak things so that your character is hitting the right target. Dude, the heart ate over. And clearing waves whilst damaging the boss is also huge in value. Also, other groups of big damage dealers have less initial SP requirements than Vina, so that's that. Even though her first 2 skills were good, I will say that her skill 3's damage potential is very, very good. The fact that it does true damage without needing an enemy to be blocked, unlike a certain someone, really opens up the opportunity for a DPS. As long as the boss struggles to kill her and just lets her hit them for the duration of the skill, you'll come to realize that the number she puts out is really impressive. All in all, I think her skills are great, but not...
Oopie goopy. General Munchkin Man, Lil Jim Bob, and worst of all, Larry.
Modules. Some say it is the great savior of operators, and some say it is an absolute waste of material. But which one is it for Vina Victoria? Looking at her module, it looks pretty damn good, but not like good because it changes her completely and brings her to the top leagues, but good because it works really well with her kit, which is what good modules should be. The damage reduction buff is fine, but what you really want to look at is a 7% attack buff. If you have, let's say, 8 people around her, instead of a 40% buff without the module, it is now a 56%. The 16% buff is good, guys. It may look like a low number, but it's good. Other than that, making her attack faster is probably just the best effect from this module. Because as we all know, the faster an operator attacks during skill, the more it maximizes the total damage from the skill. So yes, this module gets a pass from me. For whichever skill you should level or prioritize, it is always skill 3 first for her. Her AFK skills are good but are outclassed by other operators in so many ways. After you've done with skill 3, in my opinion, you should prioritize whichever one you want, since 1 and 2 isn't the worst AFK skills. But I'm leaning more towards skill 2, but they do have different uses. Like I've said earlier in this video, her skill 2 is really good for the classic medic defender in front of her combo, which solves the blocking and damage issue. With skill 1, the only issue she kind of solves is damage. Sure, true damage triggers a neuron in all of us, but unless the enemy all comes out and 1v1 her one by one, the enemies are just going to walk right past her, since arts fighters only have 1 block. And also, as I've mentioned before, for the lions, true damage does not matter if the numbers are low, especially in this case where it's 1 instance of true damage every 5 seconds. You can kind of redeem this if you put a defender behind her, but you know, it's less tanking.
Oranges and yellow bananas, good for everyone.
In the end, should you pull the Queen of England? Yes. Yes, if you like her. I don't think she is a bad operator. She's able to deal with a lot of situations, but she is also pretty replaceable in those said situations. Yes, you should pull her if you are missing enemies that replaces Vina, such as lane holding potential or DPS. Yes, if you are from the United Kingdom, as a fellow Brit, we must unite together and pull our queen. Yes, I have a British passport. No, I will not be pulling her. And I swear to God, if I see another saving for lap alter comment, I will start to...